Our reading assignments are Psalms 91 through 95. I'd like to focus primarily on the first part of Psalms 91, which I'm titling God's Protection During a Crisis. This is a very interesting psalm in that verses 1 through 16, it's also known as a soldier's song. Why? Because it emphasizes Yahweh's protection of the people in times of crisis. Now, the first 16 verses kind of expresses three voices or three people that are speaking, right? And so the first one is an individual voice. The second one is an audience that speaks to that first individual voice. And then the third one is God speaking. Now, the first one, the individual voice, opens up with a proclamation of his trust in God. We see that in verses 1 through 8. The second one, the audience that speaks to this individual, this one's more describing God's protection and care. That is seen in verses 9 through 13. Now, the third one, the psalmist concludes with God speaking about the faithful person that he promises to protect, him meaning God, in verses 14 through 18. Now, I find it fascinating that in these verses, the psalmist also shows or initially focuses this whole story on an image of a bird protecting its babies, right? Protecting the young that he has, he and she has. Then it introduces the imagery to describe his protection during crisis using military armor and weapons, which of course we know are used for protection of those in a battle. Now, these verses are very strong in showing God's statement of his fundamental nature to protect us. These verses show a strong way of how God fundamentally and it's a nature, second nature to him to protect us. In verses 11 through 13, God commands his angels to bear you up, quote unquote. This is also known as an emphasis on the detail of the care that he gives the angels to protect and provide and guard you, even of the smallest mishap that can happen on a day-to-day life. That's powerful. Hear it again. Verses 11 through 13 speak of God's nature, of how he directs and commands his angels to bear you up. It's almost like, I think of it like a bear hug, picking up its cub and just embracing and hiding it, shielding it, protecting it, right? And the angels are given specific detail on how to care for you and how to provide and guard you against even the smallest mishaps that we sometimes encounter on a day-to-day basis. So if God is your refuge, you can rest assured and in faith know that he will protect you. It's his second nature. And his angels are commanded to bear you up and guard you. Amen. I hope you found this word encouraging. I give you back your Friday. Tomorrow, it's not first Saturday, is it? I'm trying to think of the date. I'm so sorry. No, it's not. So nothing on Saturday, but we will see you guys on Sunday, Lord willing, for service at 9 and a service at 11 with fellowship and breakfast at 10:30. Thank you for listening. God bless.